Hello, everyone. It's me again, here to talk about more. Oh, camera's doing a thing. Mental health stuff. More importantly, this time I'm going to be focusing on depression. So, I spoke about last time how depression, anxiety, and insomnia were like a lethal triangle for me. Now, the hardest thing about having depression is not knowing you have depression. Because again, nothing in the world prepares you for the big sad, the overwhelming wave of like feelings and lack of feelings and just stuff that you never thought you'd experience in your life, especially as a 15-year-old, because that's fucking young. What the fuck do you have to like worry about at 15, man? Like you're in high school, you've got exams, you've got like pals. Like I had a really good group of pals, and that's the thing about depression is depression just is relentless, it's ruthless, it's sneaky, it comes at you when you may think you've got absolutely no reason to be depressed. Now, for me to talk about depression, the best way to start is to talk about high school for me. So, I had a fairly good high school life. Uh, wasn't overly bad. The only thing that was maybe ever bad about high school was the fucking decisions I made while I was in high school. So my first to fourth year in high school, and for anyone outside the UK watching this and might have a different education structure, high school is broken into like 6 years in total. First to fourth year are like your main core academic years, where you basically first year you kind of get a little bit of everything. Second year, I think you pick your subjects, I think, and then you study them for like 2 or 3 years, and then in fourth year you get your exams. And I sat standard grade level, um, and for fuck's sake, 2 minutes. I need to turn off my fucking everything else right now can go away. Um, yeah, so I sat like a bunch of different subjects, and the subjects themselves aren't overly important. Um, core subjects you need to sit are like English and maths. Um, so first to fourth year was fine. I was a fairly like above average student, was getting fairly high marks. Had a good relationship with my friends. Obviously, in every friend group was going to be drama, etc. Um, that was just like part of growing up. Um, and then it was when it really hit, when it hit my fifth and sixth year or your senior years. That's when you're kind of like, oh, you're sitting your like harder exams, and I was basically on track to do like, so you've got intermediate twos, which are kind of like just above the level that we did from first to fourth year, maybe around about the same. And you've got hires, which are like the big step above. And there were people that did like, if you were doing five hires, then you were pretty much like grade A student. I did about three. I did, fuck. I sat higher computing, higher geography, higher English. Or was it into English? No, it's higher English, and higher maths. Now at this point, I talked about like my like last time like this emotional like I am a god complex. Like I am great and I am an arrogant cocky prick and no one can hurt me. And that was the start of starting to feel nothing. That was like such a dangerous door I opened and I hadn't even realized it because what had happened is this mentality setting, and to this day it's the most dangerous mentality I've ever had, and or experienced, and it is just one of the biggest parts of depression. Um, was this thinking that you're invincible and thinking that you're great, thinking that you're untouchable, and just thinking things are going to work out for you. Um, is I started to feel less and less as the days went on. I I started to become numb, emotionally numb. Uh, I started to really sink into like the negativity that essentially was there. I stopped caring, um, stopped caring about everything, like literally everything, um, which caused complications at home. It caused complications with my parents. It caused complications with my friends. Caused complications at school, and it led to one of the biggest mistakes I could possibly make. Um, and that was chucking, just absolutely not committing to any of my higher exams at all. Um, because I had the mentality that because I was so numb, oh, the worst comes to worst, I can always just end my life. And I probably should have warned people beforehand, like this isn't like a nice happy this isn't going to be like a nice happy video. This is going to be some deep stuff. It's going to be some personal stuff about me, and some people might not like it. And I'm sorry the warning came so late. But that was my mentality. Worst comes to worst, can always just end my life. I don't need to put up with it. I don't need to live with it. So it came to exams. I stopped caring. I was sleeping in class. I just stopped caring in class. So from higher maths, I dropped down to intermediate 2 maths, which is a level below, which I absolutely glided through because I was really, really good at maths. And intermediate 2 was no different than the level that I sat before. So I got an A in intermediate 2 maths because I literally knew everything in it already. Uh, I just stopped doing like homework in school. I was absolutely against it. Um, I stopped really listening in class. Um, and I just started kind of like doing my own thing. Uh, so that when it came to my English exam, I just slept. Went in, sat down, wrote my name, slept through the exam. And the invigilator came up, prodded me on the side, and was like, "Are you finished?" And I was just like, "Sure." I just walked out. And a lot of people were angry with me for it, and rightly so. I was taking up a space in an exam that someone else who had been trying really hard probably could have sat, but I just didn't care. I didn't care about anything because again, worst comes to worst, I could just end my life. Um, Due to the complications at home, I was creating a lot of friction with like my mum, which was creating a lot of friction with my dad, which just wasn't needed. And it basically led to me getting kicked out, which I don't resent at all. I am very, very thankful that I get kicked out because I fucking needed it. Like, absolutely needed it because uh, I was a fucking dick. Um, I get kicked out. I went to stay uh, with another family member. Stayed with them for about 6 months. Got absolutely riddled with every illness under the sun because the living conditions weren't great. I was staying in like a damp room. It was the middle of winter. I was fucked. I was royally screwed over, and I'm pretty sure it's killed my immune system, like living there. Because I just get sick all the time now. Um, but again, this mentality of just like, can just end my life. Could always be worse. And if it gets there, I don't need to do it. At that level of like numbness it just made me feel like I was bored of living. And that's the best way to sum it up. I was bored of being alive. I was like 15 to 17, and I was like just bored. Just nothing I did gave me for fulfillment. I would waste time away in front of my computer for hours at a time just watching anime, brain dead playing Call of Duty, like not even enjoying myself, not even having like any sense of fulfillment. So like all those little things in like Call of Duty, whether it was like a level up or like completing a challenge or like just a little like dopamine kick almost, because I was just like, oh, I've achieved something, I've achieved something, I've achieved something. Um, and then that went on, blah 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 blah, and then it got to the point where one day I was just so sick and tired of feeling that way. I was sick of just not enjoying things, and what was happening is because I was depressed, and obviously a lot of people, a lot of my friends knew I was depressed. What they were doing was almost like feeling sorry for me in a way. So it's like, oh, are you okay? Like, oh, you'll be alright, and blah 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 blah. Like, oh, it's all get better. And it was just like kind of like, that's nice. Somebody's paying attention to me. Oh, that's good. And then just one morning, I was just like, I'm sick of feeling like this. I was literally just wallowing in self pity because people were paying attention to me a wee bit, and I was like, I don't need this. I don't need people to feel sorry for me. I don't need that like little bit of attention. Like I'm sick and tired of feeling like crap, and I'm the only person that can change that. And it was like flicking a switch in my head, and all of a sudden my life became like 10 times better. I started enjoying things again. I was hanging out with my friends. Sorry. I turned my life around for a bit. I went to college, sat a course in college. I was in a relationship. I was working. I was in quite a happy relationship at the time. Uh, I was working away, like I was pretty much had my life set on track. But again, no one tells you that just as quickly as it was to feel like I had got rid of it, it could equally just come back, come back and kick your fucking ass. Almost as if like, how dare you forget about me? How dare you think you've got rid of me? How dare you think I'm gone? It's again, mental health, mental illnesses just don't leave. They don't. They don't disappear. They never disappear. You just get better at coping with it. You just learn to deal with it. Um, and then, sorry, I just woke up and I'm really tired. Um, I don't want this video to drag on. I'll maybe talk about this subject again in like another video. But I think in total, there's maybe been about 2 or 3 times I've seriously considered ending my life on a very serious matter. Like I've considered ending my life, and I have been the person that has talked others out of ending their life, and I've said I would be there for them, and I said I'd help them, and I have, and I love them. I love all of my friends. I love all of my family. And the worst part is I now I'll get to that in a minute. The thing that really stopped me was the fact that I didn't want to do that to my friends. I didn't want to do that to my family. I didn't want to do it to people who cared, who I didn't know that cared. Um, I just didn't want to put anyone through that because I was suffering. So what I did instead is I tried to get better. I phoned Lifelink. I went to my doctor. I'm now getting therapy. I'm on antidepressants. I'm very, 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 well, if you haven't guessed, I'm very open about talking about mental health. I really wish more people were. I wish more people felt comfortable talking about their mental health. If they had issues, like, I wish they'd talk about it because the thing that kills me is people getting to that stage and feeling like they have no one to talk to. And I just couldn't bear the thought of knowing that me doing that would put my family and friends through so much grief. Um, but fuck. Yeah, right. So, thing I'm gonna end this up on is due to my due to my depression, I basically have because of my depression, I have poor concentration. Let me see my fingers. Poor concentration, which then means I have a bad memory, which then makes me feel like I'm going crazy, which then struggles for me to do anything. So, for instance, I can be having a conversation with someone, and it could be like a good friend. I could be genuinely interested in the conversation, but what will happen is I will zone out, and I won't realize that I've zoned out, and it won't be until I zone back in a couple of minutes later, and then I realize that I've been ignoring the person, not deliberately, but I've been ignoring what they've been saying for the last like 2, 3 to 5 minutes, and I just think, fuck. Or I could be listening to someone, I could be partaking in the conversation, and then I've not retained a single thing about the conversation, which has then led me to essentially forget everything that's happened. Um, I can barely remember. I just ah, I basically just struggle to pull memories. I just don't have the mental capacity, and then what ends up happening is I forget to talk to people. I I don't check up on people as much as I should, but I'm more than happy to like talk to people if they like talk to me. I don't deliberately go out my way to ignore people. I don't go out my way to like just um not speak to them, like because I again I love my friends. Like, there's people I've not spoke to in years that I still absolutely adore. Because it's not as if I stopped talking to them for like any particular reason. It's not as if I fell out with them. It's just that life moves on. But if they message me tomorrow and we're just like, "Hey, do you want to meet up?" or "Hey, I really need someone to talk," like, of course, yeah, I would be there in a fucking heartbeat because it's just how it is. Um, I just I pretty much when every day is a struggle to get through, the days you're basically your whole focus in that day is just to get through the day, and that you live day by day, and that is your day by day. You're just like, it's another day, let's go ahead, let's do this. You don't think about making plans in the future, like for the week ahead or the month ahead, because you're just trying to get through the day. Like that is like one of the most exhausting things for someone with depression, is just especially see when you can't sleep and you're like, I've made it through the day. Sleep is supposed to be a nice relaxing time where I go to sleep and I can relax and I can wake up. But you've also got insomnia, so you think, fuck, my day's not over because I can't sleep. So I'm gonna go and try and sleep. And you don't sleep and you're up all night and you think, fuck this, and you wake up in the morning and then you've got work and you're tired and you barely made it through yesterday and now you need to make it through today, but you didn't get any sleep and it's horrible. So that's the brief story summary on, in the briefest and most like condensed form, that is essentially like my summed up experience with depression. There is obviously so much more, so much more in regards to my depression, and I'll maybe talk about little stories like here or there, put up little like, I'm so tired, 5 minute videos of like what's going on, here or there, just talking about it, because as much as like even someone might not watch the whole 20-minute video, but I enjoy making these videos. I enjoy talking about it. Enjoy it. See if it helps another person think, you know what? I can relate to that. I want to get help. I want to do X, Y, and Z. That's enough for me. It's not really how I planned on starting my 3 days off this weekend. But hey ho, thank you for watching the video. I hope this is a little insightful for some people. I hope it helped others. And if you made it this far, I hope you just enjoyed watching the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.